We'll get right into it here and make sure we have enough time for the gentleman in the studio. And Human Technologies, our segment here, starting off our last break with one of your spots. And certainly Carl Reistrom in the studio with the mic, I think, in front of him, President, CEO of Human Technologies. You're going to start off here a little bit, but before we got back on the microphone, this is great because I think as you were kind of just, alluding to the fact, this is a great tie-in, really an impact of not only what we do, but certainly what you do in the community, and the opportunity to be able to highlight, talk about it. Somebody heard our conversation as of recent, one of our last conversations, and reached out and wrote you a nice letter. So first off, good morning, welcome in. Always great to have you in.
No, thanks for having us in. We really appreciate it. How's summer going for you guys?
Oh, great. Yeah, we had ice cream this morning. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Wait, you had ice cream?
We had ice cream.
There's still some melting over there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it.
Like soup.
When you're done, there's probably some. Hopefully, Rocco put it in the freezer, not under the desk over there. Grab some, Carl. That's probably where Mark is right now. Who knows? And you brought some of the guys in. We'll certainly get to it. But an impact, and we're going to talk about a community impact award that you received. I think Frank will highlight some of that, and Steve can jump in on some opportunities. But what did you? What was the correspondence that and the response that you got from our last conversation?
Yes, the last conversation we had, I think it was late April, early May, and Steve, Lisa Green, and myself came in and we talked about what is a disability, and ultimately how do we assist those individuals throughout the organization. And one of our employees down in Pennsylvania heard the interview, and actually she wrote the email to Steve. And I actually went down there a couple of weeks ago to meet with her, just to talk to her about it. And I want to take some time here just to kind of reiterate the impact of our words and the words that we choose to use, and how that really fits the culture that we have, that we're trying to establish in the organization, throughout the entire organization. And how that makes the employees feel when we choose those words.
So Stephen, quick, just again to give a background. So this is Human Technologies. You have different services, different locations, including in parts of Pennsylvania. So one of the employees there listening on the app, on the web, to our last interview, and this was her response, huh?
Yep. So I was only 6 minutes in when I felt more gratitude for this company than I have ever before. As you know, I'm a disabled employee. I am very open with sharing my experiences because I want to believe that someone somewhere will not only listen, but hear me and try to understand how much more it takes to simply live and work. Not so it can benefit me, but for those who struggle in the workplace because of their symptoms. It is very easy to dismiss or demean people's symptoms. If you can do it, if I can do it, why can't you? The ease which the three of you spoke regarding disabilities alludes to a real understanding of how disabilities impact, if not downright disable, everyday life. You not only put dignity and respect at the forefront, but reiterate it, and it may not go unnoticed, but as someone who champions for others, it was impressive. There are no words that can accurately express what it means to someone who's been knocked down by misconceptions or belittlement. Honorable mention to the replacement of the word disability with differing abilities and unique abilities. I've been working for 13 years. Due to my conditions, I have not been able to hold the job for more than a year. On July 11th, I'll be with HT for over 3 years. There's a certain relief and pride in that fact. With the support, understanding, patience, and recognition provided, I strive in a way I've never been able to before. And this is that's a whole other email. But I wanted to write this because I feel before I finished the show, I was reassured that HT is the right place. You showing that the mission statement is not an attractive wording, but a testament. I'm very proud to work for this organization.
I was going to say, Carl, it speaks right to your mission, right?
Yeah, it ties right into who we are.
Beautifully written as well.
Yeah. It speaks to our beliefs that we have, and ultimately, again, how we're able to support these individuals with whatever their disability is. How can we put them in a position to succeed? Yeah. And that's really what the HR team does, and our directors and our managers. They're the ones that are really out with these employees day to day, working with their support networks to try to help them overcome whatever barriers they have.
Yeah, that's fantastic. To receive that, and for I think about that often. We talk about this sometimes off the air, but you don't always hear, from people. It's certainly, you would assume people are listening. You would hope people are listening, but you don't always get the feedback. Sometimes the feedback's the negative feedback. That's right. What people take time to use their opportunity to express. It's negative, but to have that positive reassurance of what you're doing, and that it has impacted somebody that you're trying to reach and help.
Was that person just randomly listening, or did you ask
one
them?
of their employees, Mark?
No, I understand that, but how did they know to listen?
So after each session, we posted on social media and our website, and we also reiterate that we're doing this. And we also are developing what we call a series of mission moments where we're highlighting certain employees. And this is an employee that actually we're going to interview and have a 4 to 5 minute vignette about the impact of employment and the impact on her life. And so this is she wasn't even aware that we kind of were looking at her to do this. This was a proactive approach on her part to bring this to us.
So you let them know that you're going to be on in case they want to listen. So really what that says to me is, it doesn't really matter what you three think, and it doesn't matter what we think listening to you. It matters what the people who you're trying to impact think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can say anything you want, you can have all the mission statements in the world, and if it doesn't work, it really doesn't matter.
Yep.
And I hear a lot of times they come up and say, we got all these ideas, this is what we want to do, but the question is it working with the people? And when you read that, and I'm sure that's only reflective of many others who are in your, I'll say your community, if you allow me to use that word, who are in your community that appreciate what you're doing, because it takes someone, like she said, and I listened to that, she said, I've been ridiculed and belittled, and it's not happening anymore. And that to me, once you accomplish that, you've accomplished a huge obstacle in these people's lives. Because these are human beings, and they have feelings. You can't put them aside and say, well, you're disabled, go aside. No.
Yeah.
They're people, they have feelings, they have emotions, they have objectives they want to reach in their lives. And that was a very moving letter, I thought. Yeah.
We all have strengths and weaknesses. We all have differing abilities. Every one of us, even in this room. I mean, you guys have different abilities than we do. And I think it's important to recognize what people can do, not what they can't do. And we always say, our goal is really, to change the world. You change it one life at a time. This is just one example. I'm sure we have lots of other ones. Again, we've got identified a number of them we have. And I think as this continues to spread, as people feel part of this organization, feel part of the we call it the mothership, there's going to be more that come out. And we celebrate those. We get accolades from our customers all the time, from other individuals that we actually do share with the organization in our annual employee recognition event in January. Yeah. So this is just another opportunity for us to recognize those folks and make them know that what they're doing is having an impact, not only on us, but their customers.
I say this every time you come on, but people listen who may not have listened before. You are self-supporting. You generate enough income from the fees you charge for the work that's done to support the organization. You don't live off government grants. And correct. I think that's an important point to make every time you come on, because people may not have heard it before and say, is this some government program? It isn't.
Yeah, it's a unique business model. It's something that has taken a long time to build, and I think that really what feeds into this Community Impact Award that we won. And that was really one of the things that they looked at is, how can human technologies help other organizations see the possibilities of creating a business model where they have control of their own destiny, maybe not relying on grants and fundraisers. So what can we do? What can we model to assist them? And I think that's really one of the things when they approached us, and they said, hey, you guys have been doing this for 70 years, but you haven't always done this for 70 years. There's been different points in your history where you've kind of taken the road less traveled to get to where we are today. And I think when we did that analysis for our 70th anniversary last year, we saw those different forks in the road that we took to get here. And for other organizations that want to follow that, they don't have to go completely self-sufficient, but if they control 10, 15, 20% of their own destiny by not relying on grants or fundraisers, whatever, that's just going to help them become more stable. So what can we help them? What can we help them do? Whether it's governance, whether it's back office, whatever it is, we can be that shining beacon.
Stability comes in being able to root yourself out in different areas, and as you mentioned, and sometimes those grants or other fundings, they don't allow you, they restrict you from doing that. So,
or you don't know what's coming from year to year, day to day.
But it also speaks to your business model, your environment, your employees, and as you were mentioning, and if you want, you can introduce and we can get to Frank and talk maybe a little bit about, or you can talk a little bit about this as well, Carl. But this award, and I think we've talked to Frank about this, but one of the opportunities that you have for some of the folks that you serve there is some of the commercial cleaning services, right? And recently receiving an award.
Correct. So that the award is for the entire organization.
Gotcha.
For what we've done over the years. It's an award that's not given out every year. The last time was given out was 2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this was an award that we didn't expect. We didn't apply for. We didn't interview for. When we met with the Community Foundation, Alicia Dix, last summer, she told us that we won the award, and we're like, this is fantastic. Wait, what is the impact?
Yeah, right. So they've been looking at you, Carl. They've been looking at you.
And we've been working with them over the years, mm-hmm. and for them to recognize us, it's one thing to be recognized by your peers, but it's also something even better to be recognized by someone that we look up to. You think of all the impact that the Community Foundation has had on Oneida and Herkimer counties, and for them to sing us out, really meant a lot. It was very humbling for us to be able to win that award. Especially
when you're not looking or paying attention, right? When you're not out there championing for somebody to give you a look, right? When they do that organically, that I think that feels maybe a little better as well, right?
Are you expanding your services? Are you getting bigger? Are you able to grow? Are you at a point where you're doing all you can do? Do you have enough? Say we're full, we can't really do anymore, or are you looking to expand beyond, say, where you are geographically now into other communities, other areas?
So I'll Frank talk about that. I'll tee it up, and then he's got a good driver. If you ever seen him play golf, he can hit it pretty long. Maybe not straight, but he can hit it long. So so the answer is we're definitely not full. We're always looking for additional opportunities, not just in this area, but other locations in New York and Pennsylvania. We have 340 individuals that work for us now. Roughly 2/3 of those are folks with differing abilities. And although we started here in the Mohawk Valley, our influence is spreading throughout the state. And I'll turn it over to Frank, because the environmental services area, that's where we had the most number of employees, the most number of lives where we're impacting.
Is that another term for cleaning?
Commercial cleaning. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm stealing a lot of Frank's highlights here, so I'm going to turn the mic over to him.
Yes,
Frank.
Yes.
Good morning,
Frank. Yes, good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Great. So as Carl mentioned, Director of Environmental Services there. So, and Mark, maybe wanting to get a better idea of what that is. It is a huge part of. It is a big part of your employment there, human technology.
That is correct. Environmental services. Back in 2010, they changed it. Using environmental services as the name of what we do, and a lot of people don't actually know what that is, and it is commercial cleaning services. Environmental services is something that hospitals and health facilities use, and and basically what it means is it's for cleaning everything within a building and disinfecting, dealing with hazmat, bio-waste, waste management.
Right.
So it includes
It's not just taking out garbage bags and throwing away papers, right?
So when you think of environmental services, there's a lot more than even that goes within environmental services. That's how we look at it, though, is like a hospital would look at it. Mm-hmm. I started here in 2010. They had been in business for 30 years. They started in 1980, this division of environmental services. The first contract that we had was Rome Labs, mm-hmm. which we still service today. So 45 years later, we're still servicing that first contract.
That's pretty amazing.
One of the things, over the years, we've perfected our services and grown our customer base to over 100 sites within 5 regions throughout New York State. It employs over 200 HT team members. So, that's 200 jobs that have been created.
What's HT, human development?
Human technologies.
I thought you said HD. HT?
HT, I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't understand. Okay, I'm sorry.
So Frank, and again, you mentioned commercial services. Give us an idea. You mentioned Rome Labs, but what kind of other businesses or facilities do you guys tackle or handle?
Okay, well, we handle anything from office, medical, educational, manufacturing, warehousing facilities.
So you're in these big areas.
Yeah, we provide
big square
services for
footage.
anything that any businesses like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we actually do that right now. We are servicing those types of businesses at this time. We offer all aspects of janitorial cleaning, and it's hard to go through a list of janitorial cleaning because it just covers,
Yeah.
it would get monotonous if we're
Right.
sitting here
Yeah, but
talking.
I mean, if you can tackle those large facilities, I'm sure you can handle pretty much anything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, including this building. Who
Yeah.
includes this building?
Are you offering somebody?
Hey, listen, we got it up.
So we also offer in stripping and waxing floors, construction cleanups. So those are one-time cleanups. Carpet cleaning. So, we have customers that call in and just want once a year, twice a year doing carpets, extracting carpets. We also will customize commercial cleaning by assessing a company's needs and tailoring services accordingly. So if there's a business out there that don't really know what they need, give us a call. I'll come out. We'll do a walkthrough together. We'll see what what you would like to see in your building.
Wow,
as
yeah.
far as cleanliness. And then I'll sit there, give ideas, write up the spec for you, send you a spec, seeing if those are what you're looking for, and then I'll quote those that spec.
I think that's important, Frank, because that may be the roadblock for somebody saying, what should we do, or how do we go about this, or what do we tell them that we need, or how frequently do we need this? And you can help out. You can help figure that
happens
out.
a lot, and we have no problem doing that.
That's pretty neat.
Sometimes, even though when you're doing that, they'll go out and try to get another bid off of what you've done. But, we've always won. They're sneaky sometimes, but that's okay because I know for sure that we're going to do the best job.
Yeah, then you send Steve in there, right?
That's right.
That's when you send
Do you
Steve
get any pushback from customers who say, "Well, I don't know if I can trust you because I know a lot of the people you have working for you we'll say, have different abilities." They probably don't use that term, and they say, "Well, we're not sure you can really handle something like this." You get any of that pushback, and then you have to reassure them that you're able to do it.
No, I've never had to deal with that myself. I mean, there's been situations that arise once in a while that we deal with, but we have a great management staff out there. We have, like a 1-to-6 ratio in leadership to employee. So we always have people, overseeing what's going on in these sites. And then we're also doing quality walks and, quality checks and, trainings, because that's something we have to always keep doing. We have to keep training the employees, seeing what questions they have, see what kind of mistakes are happening, and catching it as it happens, not waiting for a customer to call me saying, hey, this ain't getting done.
Right.
So we hold ourselves accountable in that way.
But I think, they can also go back to something that I certainly wasn't aware of, and maybe some of the other businesses aren't as well, but kind of getting that customizable approach, I think, has kind of been laid out here for us. So maybe, you just have to tweak or have that conversation of what your needs are, and you can help fulfill that, I'm sure, right, Frank?
What's your age range of employees?
Well, it
From, I say, the people with differing abilities, not your management, but the people with differing abilities. What's the age range that you?
It's funny because it's a wide range. It's anywhere from 21 to 70. So it's everybody. I mean, there's.
In talking with people in business, and I'll say in the janitorial business or in the environmental business, other people who have different businesses, do you find that your employees are more dedicated and are more likely to show up for work than some other employees in some other businesses who may not have differing abilities? Are they more dedicated, do you think, than, I will say, the general population?
I would
because
say,
we keep hearing this. I hear this often from people who are, particularly in retail, and they'll say they hire people and then they don't show up, or they show up for a few days and then they just decide they're not going to show up for a while. And I just wonder what your experience is with your employees in these situations, if it's any different from the general population or it's the same.
I would consider it about the same, because, just because somebody has a different disability doesn't mean they're going to like cleaning, or they're going to like sewing or whatever jobs we have to offer. But what it is it gives them an opportunity to step up and try something, okay? So, I mean, cleaning is an entry-level job. Nobody knows whether they like it or not. I didn't know if I would like it when I joined this company, but you know what? I loved it, and I love the people, and I love the mission.
Right.
So when I'm when I'm out there working or cleaning, it's very relaxing.
Right. And in human technology, you provide that environment to allow them to be able to do that and maybe try that out or
Correct.
give them, the
But
opportunity for employment.
I would say with the, as far as, somebody leaving the company, we have very long-term employees. Some been here 30 years, 35 years, 20 years. We have a majority that have been here 10 years, so they really are coming to work.
And I think that's a good segue into, I think, what Steve is here to talk about as far as you're talking about the services that are offered, but there's a pathway as far as a career with human technologies as well.
Yeah, Steve, you're looking for them, right? If they're out there, you want 'em.
Always.
Yeah, so good morning. Give us some ideas. What positions do you currently have offer, career path, and maybe there's some future development for somebody, right? In there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we pride ourselves on our ability to create upward mobility within the organization. We have many, many success stories. Individuals that started out as, a custodian just to get into the company. Individuals that believe the mission and what we're doing, take pride in the work. This is not just custodial work. I have a range of individuals that take so much pride in what they do and how it makes a customer feel when they walk into their building. Mm-hmm. This is the forefront. This is what you want your business to look like on a daily basis. The fact that we get to impact, somebody else's pride and joy, right? We take pride in that work. The upward mobility that we can create, individuals that have started out as custodians just to get their foot in the door, that have worked their way up, and individuals with differing abilities that struggle.
What do they work their way up to?
So we have a lot of different management positions. We have project supervisors, area supervisors, assistant managers. Our hierarchy that we have established within the organization, and Frank has alluded to that as well, the ratio of leadership to direct labor, custodial employees, we take great pride in that we can provide that kind of structure, especially with people with differing abilities that need that structure.
And just sorry to stop you, Steve, but going back to Carl's letter, the confidence as well.
It builds so much confidence within the employees when you can provide that level of leadership and that level of management where they don't need to question who their boss is or where they are. What they know, they work side by side with their leadership team on a daily basis,
so they feel good about the job.
Absolutely,
they're doing.
that drives that impact, and that everybody needs an attaboy.
A pat on the back. Yeah.
So to have that leadership work side by side, that have grown from an interior custodial position into a project supervisor, area supervisor, assistant manager, it creates a sense of team and family within the organization.
Ballpark, what percentage of your management would you say is promoted from people who start out at an entry-level position?
15 to 20. 15 to 20.
Yeah.
15 to 20%?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we have... We take great pride in promoting within and teaching, guiding, training, coaching on how to be that next level of leadership within the organization. Not just putting somebody in a position, we create opportunities to be successful. Along with that comes the training aspects and the coaching, and we've developed, through the HR department, supervisory leadership models and bring individuals in for sessions that we can help with that next level. Not just say, hey, here's your promotion, good luck. We give the tools for success.
That's great.
And allow the opportunity for that.
Steve, so as you mentioned, I think Carol mentioned as well, not just commercial cleaning services here, so part of human services with human technologies across the board. Are you looking for specific positions? If so, is there a good way to find a way of maybe getting in touch with you?
Range of positions throughout the organization, not just custodial, all of our different lines of business that we engage in, manufacturing, third-party logistics. We have order filler, production worker, sewing machine operator, screen printing. We do a lot throughout the organization. Best place to find is our website at htcorp.net through the employment portal. Best place to start, put in an application. We are always screening. We have a great recruitment team through our talent acquisition specialists, very active and engaging in our next level of leadership and employees that we bring in.
Awesome. Carl wants you to start manufacturing those little gavels soon, I think, over there. Carl, I'm teasing you. Carl, you want to wrap up here. But you had the gavel in front of you. I know you said you wanted
these guys said it perfectly, telling what we do and ultimately how we support. I think just to build on what Steve said, that I think that ratio, that number might be a little low. As far as the number of supervisors and managers who came up through the ranks, it's probably much higher than that. It's probably closer to the 50 to 60% are homegrown. So maybe 15 to 20% of the direct labor folk ultimately turn into that. But of the actual staff that makes up the supervisor ranks, it's well over 50% of our employees have come through those entry level positions.
Myself included.
Yeah. And we all come from that. I mean, that's how we all grow.
Well, that's the best way to run a company. What do I know? But it just makes more sense that someone who's been there for years has done the work, who understands the challenges, then rises up and then is kind of helping people accomplish those, makes more sense than just having somebody come in and telling everybody what to do, right?
Right. I think, on what Mark said earlier, our employees are very dedicated employees. The ones that kind of have given a chance to say, we like this, we like the culture, we like the support, they do stay a while, and they're very appreciative of the opportunity to have a stable job.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to everyone, but especially for the folks who don't have as many opportunities as others. So I think they do value that opportunity more than others. I would definitely say that. And then once they're here with us for a while and they like what we do, we'll provide that training, we'll provide that skill, that pathway to success in or outside of the organization. If they ultimately end up leaving the organization to go somewhere else in another setting where they're successful, mission accomplished. Shake their hand, and we love that opportunity.
We got to go, Mark. Carl, on the best way to find more information again and continue to explore opportunities at Human Technologies, what's the best way to do that?
ht.net, excuse me, htcorp.net.
Mm-hmm.
See, they told me to do HT Clean. That's a new one here that we did instead of environmental services.
So you have that as well, HT Clean. We'll put them all up there.
Put them all up there.
Yeah.
We got them all.
Human Technologies. And again, congratulations on that award. And go ahead, gavel us out, Carl. All right. I like it. Carl. I like it. And gentlemen,
thank you very much.
You're always welcome. Yes.
All right. Take care, guys.
Enjoy the rest of the summer, but I know you'll be back in with us soon. I know.
Christmas in July, next Tuesday.
Yes.
So we'll be down there.
With the truck.
With the truck, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Yes.
You are our sponsor for Stuff the Bus.
Huge support.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We love that project, organization, and it means a lot to us to be able to do that.